If you know where you want to be, then what are you waiting for? Most people find excuses why they can't do what they want to do, but not you. You're different. You know deep down inside of you that you're made for something special. But first, you gotta believe in yourself before you make it happen. In the gym, working out, that's where we make it happen. Nobody believed in the Wright brothers that they can fly, but they believed in themselves so much that now everybody has access to air travel at their fingerprints on their phone. Also, nobody believed in Edmund Hillary that he can climb Mount Everest. But he believed in himself even though he fell so many times that now more than 6,000 people actually climb Mount Everest. So I guess it's your time to shine right now. Let's build some belief with this back workout. First, warm up, the pre-activation exercise. We got the cable pullovers. This is gonna get a lot of lats involved, and we're gonna pre-exhaust them before we actually go into the main workout. The reason for this is that sometimes if you don't warm up the muscle before you go into it, your arms can take over before the back actually is exhausted, right? So what we do in this case, we pre-exhaust it beforehand, and then whatever else we're gonna do around, it goes straight into the back, okay? We got 7 sets of these, 30 seconds in between rest, okay? 15 reps each. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna slightly bend the knees here. Your back is straight, right? You lean forward a bit. Your elbows as well are a bit bent, and then from here, from this stretch, you kind of pull it in. You squeeze the back muscles together, and then you stretch out. Pull in, stretch out. Pull, stretch, pull, stretch. You don't want to use a very heavy weight. You want to use a weight that you can control, right? The form again is very important. You want to control the form. So that means you can't do too heavy, right? Because you want to go and feel those muscles pumping and burning while keeping the form intact. 100% correct. It's already burning. Okay, 7 sets in total. We got 6 to go. Right after the warm-up, we go straight in one of my favorites. We got pull-ups. Now the thing is, as with chest, like I explained to you yesterday, we got thickness and the width, right? Same with the back. We got width and then the thickness of the back, right? The deep muscles. Now pull-ups, usually it builds the lats, right? Which is the width. And then the pressing movements, the pulling movements like that, it builds the thickness of the back, right? Whatever goes for the lats, it builds, right, the width. So right now we're gonna focus on building the width. What we're gonna do, we go up in a pull-up, we hold it for 10 seconds, then we go for reps, whatever is there, right? That's the first mix that we're gonna do. Okay, so we go for like a shoulder with the par grip. We come up, we hold 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then for reps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, and 10. The next killer is one of my favorite back mixes ever. You get a straight bar. Yeah, make sure you use a bar that you can put clippers on and stuff, because you need it to rotate, right? So first we're gonna have the rows, right? Like normal old school rows, which would focus on the thickness of the back. And then we go rollouts, right? You know, like the ab roller, like you use the ab roller on the floor. This time we're gonna have our knees on the bench and we use the bar to roll out, right? Which will focus a lot on the actual lats and on the width. So we got a mix of thickness and width at the same time. Okay, so we go for like 12 reps of the rows. We got like a shoulder width apart grip, yeah, on the bar, and then we go for like 12 reps. 1, 5, 8, and 12. And now, right into this. Keep your knees on the bench, and then from here, we roll out, down, and then back. Roll, stretch, and then back. Another 10 of these. If doing it on the bench is too much for you at the moment because you haven't done it before, you can do it also on the floor without any problem. You can put your knees on the floor and just do the roll out like that. But the more you do it, the more the body gets used to it. You get adapted. It's one of my favorite mixes because it gets like the full back and everything's like pumped up and working properly. Whew. You're gonna see what I mean after you do the proper warm-up, after the ropes. When you do the ropes to pre-activate and pre-exhaust the muscle before, everything you do, like the mind muscle connection, is insane. Everything goes straight into that muscle that you activated before. Try it out and let me know what you think in the comments. Now we're gonna work again on the width of the back. Okay, this is like a pull down. You can also use the lat pull down, the machine, the cables, but I have a plate loaded one. They all kind of activate the same thing. But if you have the actual pull down machine, the bar, then what I would recommend is put two handles, right? So you have like individual access, and I'll tell you why. Because here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring them together like this, right? And then we hold one and we go with 1, 3, 4, 5. Then we go with the other one, 5, while we're holding this one, 3, 4, 5. Now together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, and hold for a bit and release. Ooh. So if you do have the lat pull down machine, just make sure you use 2 handles and do what I just showed you. This is basically keeping and isolating the muscles, but individually, and then together for crazier burnout. We go 5 with the right, 5 with the left, and then 10 together or more if you can. Again, make sure you don't go too heavy. You want to control the weight. You want to focus on the burn. It's not about the weight. It never is. Unless you're training for strength training competitions or stuff like that, then it's different. Yeah, you can go crazy and lift heavy weights, but it's not about this. It's about getting your body to function properly, to create a mind-muscle connection. There's a lot of people that don't have that. There's no mind-muscle connection. People just throw weights around. That's not what it's supposed to be about. It's being there in the muscle. There's a famous saying from Arnold. He was saying the way I grew my biceps was every time he was doing concentration curls or any bicep curls, he said he was inside the actual muscle. He was inside, deep down in the tissue, while with every rep. Can you imagine that type of focus? Next and last one for upper, actually back, because then we got some lower back too. But now we're working a bit more again on the thickness of the back. We got some seated rows. Now different gyms have different machines. This again is a plate loaded one, but you can have the cable machine. It still works amazing. It's the same. Try not to get caught up in these perfection thing. If you see an exercise and then you don't have that machine, try and figure out how you can replicate the same exercise, because at the end of the day, similar muscles will get activated. So don't get stuck in that. If I don't have that machine, I'm not gonna do it. Find a way around it. Find something similar. It's gonna be the same outcome. Right, so here, what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna have individual rows. Right, so from here, we'll keep our back straight. Our core is tight, shoulders back. Then from here, we bring the elbow in, and then we stretch. Bring it in, stretch. Ten of these with one, then with the other one. Another 10, and then we're going with both. Whatever's left in there, whatever's left in the tank. Stretch. One more. Oh my God. Even if you don't have the machine, use the cable machine. You know, the seated cable where like this, when you got the cables, you could replicate the same movement. I'm showing you this blueprint. I'm sharing everything with you, so you get to learn something too. Don't just copy me and do everything that I do. But play around, find your own journey. Start to write your own blueprint. Through my journey that I'm sharing with you, you gotta do your own. You gotta write your own chapters in your own book. I'm showing you some ways around, but there's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts in this. I see a lot of young kids, they turn into monsters overnight because they use a third party help. We all know what we're talking about, right? The needles, and that's some scary stuff, man. For a kid, even, look, my personal opinion, I've always said this, I always tell this to my clients too. Unless you're like over 40, you don't even need to touch that stuff, man. You don't, and unless you're doing it under medical supervision and you're doing it for health reasons, to make sure that your testosterone is at a normal level. If you're over 40, naturally testosterone decreases. So of course, it's great to do the testosterone replacement therapy, just to make sure that you're in optimal health conditions, right, while you're getting older. But of course, that needs to be maintained with training, with eating healthier, and sleeping great. There's so many other factors. But I see these kids, young people, 20, 25, they don't need that, man, but they just want that quick shortcut. So they look perfect because of too much social media pressure. There's no perfection, especially when you're natural. If you look at natural guys, which are not many out there left, but the ones who are natural, they can never sustain that leanness, like that perfection leanness 100% all the time, because that's not natural. Like, it's not, your body cannot take it. Your body's on like survival mode when you're like very little body fat percentage. We're not supposed to be that low, because then your hormones are really messed up. Your energy levels are, your mood is affected, right? So you can't sustain that level for a very long period of time. Of course you can look in a better shape, but not to that like skin tight you know, that you see all over Instagram, they're all on drugs. That's not natural. And that's another thing, that when I was growing up in London, in like hardcore bodybuilding gyms, I used to see these massive guys hiding somewhere in the back door and shooting needles in their legs, man. And that traumatized me, and I said I'll never touch that shit, because why go through it? That's not the whole point of it all. That really isn't, unless again you like choosing this as a career and you want to do bodybuilding and stuff like that. That's a different story. I'm not gonna get into that, because that's not my field. It's not my passion to be on stage and do all that stuff. I personally think it's not worth the risk that comes with it, the health, and that's mostly it. But yeah, man, try and stay away from that, especially if you're young. Don't don't. You can achieve it naturally without any problem. Just make sure you put in the hard work, and if you do everything right, if your training is on point, if your nutrition is on point, and you're tracking everything, you're tracking your calories, you're tracking the amount of energy more or less that you're spending, right, that you're burning, the calories, and then you have a good sleep, and you get the right supplementation to help you the recovery, you're on your way, man. Why do you want to get in 6 months? You can't get in 6 months. It takes you a long time. It takes you years, but it's something that you build on it, right? It compounds in time, and you can't really get it and then just leave it. It's a use it or lose it type of thing. Because if you don't train anymore, let's say you get it in 2-3 years, and then you stop training, you're gonna lose it. This shit doesn't stay. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be easy. It's like a business. You start a business and you get it to a very successful level, and then if you stop working on it, if you never show up to work anymore, if you don't show up in your business, if you don't care anymore about it, guess what? In less than 6 months, you're gonna be bankrupt. So anything that's worthwhile, you gotta keep on working at it. It's a lifestyle, man. I see people, even in this gym, I see people that are like 75 and they train like they're 25, man. And I got so much respect for them. It's insane. They give me hope. You know what I mean? Like, I still have like 45 years of going crazy with this shit, and I love it. Because they are doing it, and if they're doing it, anybody else can. Also wanting to quickly share with you here, the way you hold your hands on these bars, it really targets different muscle groups, right? Different parts of your back. So for example, when you go for a closer grip, you focus more on the inner side of your back, right? Like the spine muscles. When you go for a wider grip, you go for the middle back to the lats, right? So depending on the grips, you can play around with them to target different muscles in the back. This is the finisher for the back day. Okay, now we're gonna focus on the lower back. We're gonna do Supermans. Okay, this is very crucial. This is part of your core, right? If you got a strong lower back, anything is possible, man. When you have a strong core, you're not gonna have issues later on in life. So let's get it. What we're gonna do, we have a hold first, right? So here, we're gonna bring our arms up and legs up, and we hold it here for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we go for reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then you have a little rest, 30 seconds, and then we're gonna go again. Remember, this is crucial. Make sure you don't skip this. It's very easy to skip it. You can also do the back extensions. There's like that machine that you just simply do like this with the back. I don't have it here, but I'll probably have it in a different gym and I'll show you. But this is the foundation, because the other one, the back extension, if you don't do it right, you can also activate too much glutes. So this, it's the best one to do. Is body weight. Again, it's just mind-body connection. Make sure you squeeze those muscles in the lower back, and then we're done with back. Back is finished, man, and destroyed. Hopefully we're building some belief in you, slowly. Remember what we talked in the beginning, you need that belief, man. You need it before you actually see it happening, before it's created into reality. You need to believe it here first. Now, time to go home, get the protein shake in. You got 45 minutes. Hurry up, stay sexy, and I'll see you tomorrow.